All right. Ted Cruz is on fire. You may not like him. You may like him. But here's the thing about my old boss, one of the greatest CEOs of all time, Jack Welch. When he was first telling me about Ted Cruz, I didn't know what he was talking about. First of all, I mean, Cruz was rumored to be entering the presidential race, but he was an afterthought after afterthoughts to a lot of people. Well, lo and behold, Jack Welch, the former GE CEO, so there was something in the passion that he delivers, the crowds that this guy gets, and the succinct way he gets to the point that was something to watch. So I decided, well, let me watch this Cruz dude, see what he's talking about. All right, so Cruz is doing well. So once in a while, Jack Welch gets something right. How are you, my friend? Good to see you.
I'm great, Neil. It's nice to be here. You look great.
But, you know, you said it's nice to be here, but you shook your head no, as you said.
Well, that's because I got a tick probably. I don't know.
Let's talk a little bit about Cruz first.
Yeah.
In the debate, you were on him early on as someone who generated a great deal of passion, much more so you even said about the front runner at the time, Jeb Bush. What did you see then? What do you see now?
The thing I like about Ted Cruz clearly is he says what he's going to do, and he does it. I've written a book, as you know, too, and I've always talked about truth and trust.
Yeah.
Damn it, you say it, and then you do it. Well, now he gets the establishment quote upset, and a lot of senators tell me they don't like him. I was with a senator this summer who told me he's very much hated in the chamber, a Republican senator, and I said because he doesn't play ball with you guys and your handshakes with each other in the cartel. He calls it like it's a cartel, whether it's the Republicans or the Democrats.
But Jack, they say, and he's a brilliant lawyer, brilliant constitutionalist, solicitor general, some of the most historic opinions in recent history were written by him. Yeah. But that he's a bull in a china shop. If the argument goes, he likens himself to Ronald Reagan, but Ronald Reagan was very good at reaching across the aisle because he was first effective at uniting his own. This guy is criticized for dividing his own.
He won the election in 10, and he talked about Obamacare. And he said he was going to go to Washington and take it on. It's been one of the worst pieces of legislation in history. It's fallen apart now in our hands. He was right. He wanted to shut the government down over it. He fought hard. But he said he told the voters, vote for me and I'll go do this.
But Donald Trump says he's a maniac.
Well, Donald Trump gave him a pat on the back last night.
Yeah. What did you make of that? Now, you're a savvy business guy, and I always read when I see something like, these two have an agreement. Do they?
I don't know. I'm not on the inside at all. I'm a way out here guy viewing
Well,
this.
you know why you got the attention you did last time, way back, talking about first, is that many deemed you to be an establishment figure in the party by the nature of who you were and are.
Yeah.
And that when someone like you is looking past the obvious candidates, who are Ted Cruz, that's saying something in and of itself.
Well, look, Ted Cruz is speaking the truth. He's out there saying what it's like. We're all tired of these backroom deals, these Harry Reid, we won the election, Republicans, we won the election in 10 and 14. Harry Reid might as well have stayed there from 14 to 16 running the Senate. We didn't get beans. And we need leadership. We've got
But you got to work with people. Jack, as a CEO and all you've done over your career, you've worked with people. The rap against him is that he can't.
You want to see his campaign team. They're fabulous.
Well, I'm sure they are. They are. They're
like him. They got a ground game.
So you think that rap against him is not fair, and you think if he were president...
Give him a chance.
Okay.
And let the country see him.
Why not Marco Rubio?
I said this morning on somewhere else, and I said, I think he's too slick by a half. I don't know how deep he is.
Really?
Yeah.
You said those hateful comments on another network?
Right.
Okay. But that's fine. I'll let it go. Let me ask you about this tone that we get in the media when it comes to coverage of a Republican debate versus a Democratic debate. We have one headline here. Pammy, if you could show this is the Washington Post right after the debate. GOP candidates have an unruly fight over serious issues with no clear winner. Same newspaper reviewing a recent Democratic debate. Democrat debate, Islamic State and Wall Street, but Clinton is the focus. So one is rather factual, general to the point. That one, the other one is a couple of little zingers in there.
What's the surprise? I mean, that's the mainstream media. Look, the Sunday Times this last Sunday had the 17 people in politics in the last 8 years.
Right.
And they had ranked from most honest to least honest, 17 people. Well, the top 5 most honest by this silly outfit called PolitiFact,
right.
which should be arrested whoever the data that was out. No, they should be.
Well, they're the Bible on the facts, right?
Yeah, I mean, the top 5 honest politicians: Bill Clinton number 1, O'Malley number 2, Barack Obama number 3, Hillary Clinton number 4, and Bernie Sanders number 5. The most dishonest.
Number 6 was Osama bin Laden, which is interesting. But go ahead.
The most dishonest in their poll, Ben Carson. The guy was a doctor for most of those 8 years, doing great work. I mean, there's no limit to what they'll write.
But it's always still the clown car and the coverage of the clown. I guess that is what it is.
It is what it is. That's why don't even look at those headlines.
Okay.
That was by the Washington Post, I'll bet. Yeah, you said it was.
All right. Now, let me ask you about the Federal Reserve today. Hiking interest rates. Some are afraid that this is the start of a trend. We have all that debt. It's going to get pricey. It's going to get bad. You know, the last interest rate cycles we had where rates were going up ended in crashes back in '87 and, of course, in the meltdown in 2008. What do you think?
Well, there's no question that it would have been easier to do it 60 days ago when oil was a little better, when we weren't having commodities further down, and the developing countries weren't so weak. So we're raising. Now, a quarter point's not going to change anybody's life.
Well, but you know, the rep is that you're never one and done. There always follow-ups.
Yeah, but hopefully, I didn't hear what she said. What was the tone of the...
Well, that we're watching everything, you know, minute and data. I don't know about dovish, but obviously supportive enough for stocks to surge over 200 points on the belief that she will not willy-nilly be hiking rates every 6 weeks like a Paul Volcker.
Yeah, well, I think a quarter point isn't going to hurt anybody's... and the market was ready for it. It's been priced in, et cetera.
But what do you think, to pick your brain a little bit on that tumble in oil and the concerns expressed there that maybe this is something bigger? I'm
more concerned about the fact we don't have growth. Look, if you look at all these mergers in the last year... Right. InBev and SAB, Dow and DuPont.
Record mergers.
Dow and DuPont. All these big mergers, what are they about? They're about cost cutting. They're about getting more efficient because they don't have the growth. If you look at China, tremendous overcapacity in everything, not buying any import stuff. That's why the commodities have collapsed. Right. They're not buying minerals and things.
By the way, commodities collapsing oil, that usually presages something bad. Not all the time, but usually. Well,
I don't think this thing is booming.
Okay.
Ted Cruz, what do I like about him? He's going to go strategically. He's going to go after ISIS hard. He's going to declare. You have to declare what it is. And it's a strain of Islam. It's not all of Islam.
What do you think of what Trump was saying? Hold off on Muslims in this country.
Trump had the right thought expressed in the wrong way. Yeah. I mean, he should have quoted Jim Comey. He should have quoted Jim Clapper. He should have quoted Bob Gates, Leon Panetta. We don't know who's coming in. We don't know how to find out. So we ought to pause, not pick out Muslims, and we ought to pause on our visa programs. But, you know, we are so screwed up. Think of Homeland Security. Think of, you now have a job and you're out recruiting. There's a $60 billion expense budget, okay? You're out doing this, and it's got a 240,000 employee team. We're going to protect the homeland with this team we put together from all these things. Let's go find a leader. Let's get a lawyer from somewhere who's never run anything, and let's put him in to run this thing, okay? Right. It's crazy, Neil. There's no mission. This administration has no mission. The mission is to diffuse everything. And we desperately need to focus on ISIS and growing the economy.
Are you bullish in the markets?
I'm cautious about the economy.
That didn't answer my question, but I'm afraid to re-ask it because you'll yell.
I'm not going to hit you. I'm not going to yell. I love you.
All right, Jack Welch, really one of the greatest CEOs of all time because he speaks his mind, and the passion is there. I mean, anyone who's ever worked with him, it's in their DNA, whether they like it or not. A little more to this.